In this episode, Jake and I talk about what we hope to see at this year's WWDC, especially in detail about the brand new Apple TV that we just might be seeing this year. We also go ahead and talk about recent releases in the world of iOS, like iOS 8.4 Beta 1, as well as iOS 8.3. Jake, I am so close to updating to 8.3 on my jailbroken device, it's not even funny.
Sam, you can't. You must be part of the jailbroken master race.
Oh, gosh, because before 8.1.3 came out, it was this thing where we went on a retreat at school, so I didn't have enough time that morning of retreat to actually restore my phone. My plan was to restore my phone and then go to the Apple Store and get a new one.
You said you were going to do that. You didn't end up doing that.
Yeah, I just never did it for whatever reason, which is, I should have done it. I just stalled way too much. So now I'm stuck in the thing. So now I'm stuck where there's no jailbreak out for 8.3, and I'm starting to run into some, not really lag, but it's just been a long time since I've restored. And you know, when you're jailbroken, you install a lot of stuff, you uninstall, and sometimes files get left behind. So
I'd say 50% of the time there's files left behind. I'd say that's one of the worst things about jailbreaking is the erasing of unused files. Guys, and I just want to, nobody has ever explained this to me properly. And I just want to state it. I have before. When you jailbreak your phone, you get stuff on it and everything, and it's like, okay, I'm going to restore without uninstalling anything. That gets rid of everything. It only gets rid of everything if you do a complete restore. Mm-hmm. Apple, I don't know why. I guess it's just easier to do it this way. They back up everything on your phone, even the jailbroken data and apps downloaded from jailbreaks. It's all part of your backup. So if you restore from a backup in iTunes,
it's bad.
It's gonna bring that data back on your phone, and you're not going to be able to access it.
Back on the days of iOS 8.1, I had restored from being jailbroken 4 times, and it got to the point.
Yeah, it got to the point where Sam's looking at my phone, and you had seen my animations go faster, or me open up an app faster. I think you said that your mom's 4S was going faster or something.
I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
Because Tweetbot had so much consecutive stuff cached that it would take 20 seconds to load my Twitter feed instead of 3. So I was like, okay, this is an issue and I need to restore. Luckily, I think the 8.1.1 or 8.1.2 jailbreak had just coming. It had just come out a few days ago or maybe a week ago, so I just completely restored and started anew, and now that's been, oh gosh, it's already April. I mean, this was back in November? Very early December? I mean, it's been 5 months.
I remember
now.
I was at your house, and I think I hadn't convinced you yet that that's how it worked. I'm like, do a fresh restore. I guarantee you it'll fix it. And what I'll do is I will do a fresh restore, but I won't do it every time. The last time, all I did was, if you guys uninstall Safe Mode or Cydia Substrate, uninstalls every tweak you have on your phone. It doesn't uninstall everything, but I'm going to tell you, it uninstalls 95% of the stuff you have from repos that are on your iPhone by default. And that's really handy, and I'll just restore it from backup. The next time there's a jailbreak, though, I'm doing a fresh restore because I'm experiencing that a little bit, Sam.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, it's you're on 8.1 still, right?
Yeah.
So you're 5 versions behind. I'm only 3, but
yeah,
even 3 is. I hate.
I don't know.
I on the latest.
Didn't really see a reason to update until 8.3.
No, for sure, Mm-hmm. And it's not a big deal for a lot of people. But I'm iUpdateOS, so I gotta restore every time. If it 8.1.2 fix something for ringtones in iTunes, it had nothing to do with me whatsoever. But of course, I had to restore anyway because if I can be, I will be on the latest version of iOS. And
I mean, and
modified.
8.3 is awesome. Like, my iPad mini is so much better now. Also, I had restored from a backup last time with that, and I did a fresh restore, and that's just great for it. So, like, it feels clean now when I use it. Like, that's weird to say. I'm going to tell you something that I don't like that they added to the UI in 8.2 or 3.
Yeah, talking about 8.3, that was a perfect transition because if you guys didn't know, 8.3 is out now. But continue on,
Right.
Jake.
Yeah, for sure. The arrows, I think this was in 8.2. The arrows now for when you go back a page or forward a page, there's like a translucent arrow behind it. Like that's a darker shade of gray than the white or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't know if I've noticed this. Where would I see it?
I'm in the settings app would be a good place, I think. I'll try to go on my iPad and see if it's there. But yeah, it's off center in my opinion.
Is it like the little back arrow? Like if I hit on general
Yeah.
that says settings?
Let me try. Yeah, like isn't there a translucent arrow around it now? I swear to God, I've seen this.
No, I know what you're talking about. This is actually back in like 7.1, but I know what you're talking about. If you go under general and then accessibility and scroll down to button shapes, then you'll see it.
Oh, okay, wait. General.
Accessibility. And then button
Okay.
shapes, scroll down.
Button shapes. Oh, so
Is that what you're talking
somebody
about?
had that turned on.
Yeah.
I hate that.
No, it looks awful.
It looks so bad. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I think our friend Luke had it turned on for some
Oh,
reason.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
but that was back a
Thought
while
that's
ago.
something they added for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, it definitely was added, but just a while ago.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but other than that, in 8.3, there was actually kind of a lot that was new. I mean, many other people have remarked the same way that I did, because this was like the largest changelog that I had seen for any iOS release in a super
really?
long amount of time.
It was a big bug fix update, which it did need.
Like, I mean, I'm looking through it now, and oh my gosh, there is just so many changes in it. Like, I just haven't seen this many changes like ever, except in not like new features wise, but there's just so many bug fixes. And if you guys want to see the full changelog, I'll link it down below in the show notes or description of the YouTube video and stuff. But
And
there's
guys,
like improved performance and
that's good. And guys, if you're just tuning in, if you want to ask questions, tweet us on Twitter at iUpdateOS or at Agent Revelation, or post it in the comments section on the live YouTube video, and we'll get to those at some point.
For sure. Talking about notable changes in 8.3, let me go back to my changelog. It added, of course, 300 plus new emojis.
That's a lot.
I cannot tell you how many. Like, this was on my personal Twitter, like friends that were tweeting about this, that they saw the new emojis. Like,
I knew
there's
this would be a big deal. Even my sister was like talking about it and stuff.
Like, you know, it's a big deal when people that don't care about iOS care about it all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's how big 8.3 was with the emojis, which is crazy.
To an average person, 8.3 is an emoji update.
Yes, it adds cool things. Besides that, though, there's new CA languages like Russian, I believe, and stuff was added.
That's good.
And also in the Messages app, there's a new section for unknown senders. So everybody who's in your contacts that you know is going to be on the left side.
That.
Yeah, and then if you if somebody contacts you with like iMessage spam, which really weird. I got like 2 iMessage spam messages or 3 in like the past month, right as they add the feature to report a spam. But
it's weird.
It's a story for another day. And then everybody on the right is going to be people you don't know, unknown senders.
I mean, I guess I like that. I don't have anybody in my contacts that I don't know. Like, so that's like my messages are already a mess. Now, like, I do like the best thing added to iUpdateOS, .com. No, the best, like, one of the best things added to iOS is the name, the iMessage thing. Like, And they should add that feature to text just for you. Like, other people might not be able to see it, but you can. Like, that should be a thing. Somebody make a jailbreak tweak with that right now. Because I love... It organizes it so well.
Yeah, it's really, really nice looking.
Mm-hmm. And I just like it, the organization of having the name conversation. It's funny at sometimes, too. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on. We got some huge news this week.
Yeah.
And I think Jake and I have agreed before that this event is our favorite.
It's our favorite event. Apple event.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just crashed the big reveal, even though everybody knows about it.
Shut down. Destiny quote. WWDC 2015 was announced this week, and it's going to be held on June 8th to June 12th. Same place as last year in San Francisco in the I was listening to myself in a video. I said Moscone, like macaroni. And I think it's the Moscone Center. Of course, it's a weird name.
I never heard it before, so I don't know.
And I'm pretty sure this is where they held stuff last year, and it's always just so exciting to, see the banners go up when they tease iOS.
Yeah, they tease, like, the banner. It's definitely my favorite event. I don't know, like, I get most excited about it. Just the software stuff was great. And then last year's was very nice. They tailored to developers. Was last year the 2 years ago was the buttery scrolling, right?
No, that was Yosemite. That was this year.
No, that was
last year.
Last year was the best WWDC. I guess besides the iPhone
original.
Yeah, like Steve Jobs WWDCs. This has been the best one since Steve Jobs has been gone. WWDC was last year's. I hope they top it this year. It's going to be hard to beat with the buttery scrolling and Craig Federighi's hair getting cut with a chainsaw, but we'll see.
I don't know why they don't take advantage of them. I mean, like, he's pretty hilarious.
He's pretty funny. He's the funniest guy that's up there right now, in my opinion.
But instead, we're going to have Kevin Lynch come and talk to you guys about the brand new health features in Apple Watch.
I'm wearing the Apple Watch.
So then they bring Kevin Lynch, this joker, on the stage. I'm sorry if you're listening to this or you somehow hear it, buddy, but you need to be slightly more than sitting in a grave energetic, because he's the type of guy who's like, oh, hey guys, I'm gonna call my mom. Just kidding, she doesn't have a cell phone.
I remember when you quoted that. I'm gonna call my mommy.
Oh, he's so like...
He was creepy.
Oh, okay. Like, he reminds me of Lester from GTA.
That's a perfect comparison.
If you guys know what played Grand Theft Auto 5. But he's like, oh, okay, well, you see, when we do this, I can go ahead and open the garage for my... And, like, he's got a good spirit, and he's trying to be his best, but he's just not the best.
Comes off being creepy.
And he's not the best at speaking in front of a crowd. Mm-hmm. WWDC was...
Johnny Ive up there again, I mean...
Dude, when I'm calling it now.
You called it. Yeah, you're gonna call it. I heard this before.
The second he steps up on stage, Twitter's Twitter's probably gonna get shut down, and there's gonna be
a standing ovation.
Yeah, there's gonna be like a 10-minute standing ovation because he has not been up there in a super long. Like, it's been 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah,
which is it's so sad because he's such a good. Like, he was so good at explaining the product and the design about it. It's like, man, I know you probably have stage fright, but you need to see a psychiatrist or something so you can get back up there. You need to come over the stage fright.
For sure.
Because, God, he's just... I mean, Johnny Ive is like the best designer ever. Or he's one of the best designers the world has ever seen. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, gosh, they could just do so much more with him if he talked up there. That'd be awesome.
For sure. Yeah.
Anyway, back to WWDC.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about what we're going to expect from this?
Yeah, sure. So, I agree with this first one you have here. There needs to be a new Apple TV.
Mm-hmm. It's been far too long.
And they need to... This can be the future of TV. for some reason, I don't know why, I feel like Steve Jobs would have taken advantage of this instantly. Apple's been sitting back with this.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix is huge. Now, they act like it's not huge. Like, and Netflix still needs, like, way more people. And I guess they do. It's gonna keep growing. And I heard a good quote recently or something like that. Like, the HBO, the new HBO Now thing, regarding cable and stuff like that. And it's like Netflix needs to become the HBO Go before the HBO Go becomes Netflix.
Mm-hmm. No, for sure, because, Netflix is huge.
And,
everybody has it.
And I don't know why I just went off on that tangent for some reason. But yeah, the Apple TV... they keep adding that HBO Go thing was Now thing was a step in the right direction. If they keep getting like exclusive stuff like that's a big deal. And then there'll be a new Apple TV. It might be even smaller. I like the idea of it being the box because then you can do Ethernet for people who still have that.
Who are lucky enough.
Who are lucky enough to have that sitting by their TV. Gosh. But I watch Netflix on my Xbox One all the time. If you don't have an Xbox One, the Apple TV would be the way to go. And then, like, by introducing 4K, none of the other Android TVs or, the Razer one that's going to come... Well, it might actually, cancel that. Android TV, the Nexus TV, the Amazon Fire TV.
Yeah.
Those don't have the Google
Play Store?
Chrome, the Google Chromecast. Those don't have 4K.
No.
Yeah. So if Apple is first to the game on this, that could be a big deal. Because really the only way to do that right now is to have a TV that is 4K and has Netflix built into it. Like, that's literally the only way to do it right now. Like, Xbox One might eventually... Oh, gosh, it just turned on because it heard me. It might eventually have 4K support. The cord that they include with the Xbox One is a 4K HDMI cable.
Uh-huh.
And might at some point, as Austin Evans said in a video recently, have... 4K support for video watching. Of course, never playing games.
Of course not.
That's absurd if you know what's inside the Xbox One. But yeah, that like they could do that, and then with the same price point, and them marketing it correctly could be very good for people who don't have streaming devices.
And you know what's sad? Because as much as I think everybody else on planet Earth wants the Apple TV to have 4K and they want it to be great. There's a new rumor. It
probably won't.
There's a new rumor that says it's going to be 1080p.
Why would they make another Apple TV if it's going to be 1080p? Like, what are they going to add to it?
So it's supposed to have a higher caliber chip, and it's also supposed to have an app store. And this is pretty big because Apple has not opened the Apple TV up to developers except like partners, like obviously Netflix and stuff. But, like, there would be
I didn't really know that. That's kind of absurd.
Yeah, like, there would be a legitimate, like, an Apple Watch app store or an Apple TV app store where you'd be able to go and get apps, and there's talks that there might be games added at some point. But what I've heard so far by listening to, like, the 9 to 5 Mac podcast as well as just looking at their site, because they always have spot-on info, is it looks like the Apple TV app store is going to be exclusive to the new one.
That makes sense.
Because, I mean...
why... Then people are just going to buy the old one. Like, that would make sense.
They need some huge feature that's like, it's worth spending $50 more to get the new version.
Right.
So I think that'd be a great move on their part if they... it needs to be 4K. And I'm going to be very disappointed when I find out that it isn't 4K, but... My dad and I have agreed that we're going to get the next Apple TV when it comes out, because we've been waiting on one... year and a half now, because
they're on the Apple TV 3, right?
Yeah, only 3. It's been out since like
only 3
2011 or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
So I hope it's 4K, but I don't know. but it really does not look like it at this point, which is very frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird that it hasn't had an app store up to this point. I don't know if you could jailbreak it. You could obviously get media. Yeah. What's that one media app called?
It's called Kodi now, I think, but XBMC.
Kodi, yeah, XBMC or Kodi on there. That's like the best thing ever, I've heard. So, if you don't know what that is, it's basically watching free stuff.
But it's legal. Because
it is?
Yes, because you're streaming and not downloading, I believe. That's what I've heard.
That's weird.
Don't quote me if the FBI...
it wasn't legal. I don't think it's legal.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's legal on your part, but maybe not on the company's.
yeah, that might be true.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess we'll see what happens there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're not gonna ever do the actual Apple TV where it is an entire TV and everything, and I think they shouldn't at this point. There would be no point at this point. I heard the Google TV didn't do very well.
Oh no, it was a failure.
And as long as they play their cards right on this, it would be. I think it's gonna be really nice. The App Store is a good idea so that you're not locked down on media apps.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get stuff like Sam's favorite app, Crunchyroll, on there, and
oh god,
we could talk about a lot more personal stuff in this podcast that we don't.
But don't make me watch anime and I'll be happy. Please, just anything but anime.
We torture Sam.
I'm just not a fan of it, and apparently it's like a big deal, but.
It's a really big deal.
Well, depends on who you ask. If you ask me, it's not. No, I'm joking. I know a lot of people love anime, and I respect that. I'm just not a fan of it.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter, because Crunchyroll's on the Xbox One, so it's all good. I actually don't enjoy Crunchyroll, because...
Really?
It's not... you have to pay to watch dub stuff.
Oh.
If it is like... If that's how they decide to do it, which is 90% of the people who have that set up. So I don't use it that much. I just watch Netflix.
I mean, they do need to make money, but they should make
They do, but they have ads. I think if you pay for it, you remove ads. You know what's really weird?
What?
I've heard if you have Hulu Plus, you still have to watch ads.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
That's ridiculous. I think we already talked about this.
No, I don't think we did because...
Oh, we didn't? Okay, I had talked about it with somebody else then.
I just had a flashback to being over at my cousin's house one time, and yeah, we were watching Hulu Plus. I don't even have a clue what show we were watching, but yeah, I never really thought about that. You do have to watch ads.
I would never buy Hulu Plus now after hearing that. It's already a pain in the ass already. It's not like... Because the ads, like, it's like a TV show where, like, they're in the TV show spots. So, I don't know why that makes me mad, but it does. And it's just, and Netflix doesn't. So.
Yeah, for sure.
That I would easily get Netflix, like, for, like, yeah. So,
Yeah. Anyway, other things, of course, WWDC. That we can... I was really off track. Anyway, other things at WWDC that we can expect are like iOS 9, obviously, and OS X 10.11, which we don't have a name for yet, and it usually doesn't leak. Actually, I take that back. I think it leaks like a couple days before that. Okay. But yeah, I mean, we don't know a name for OS 10 and iOS 9. I assume it's going to be iOS 9. Maybe they'll be like... We're doing iOS double 360 no scope Mac OS 10, and it's all one thing.
Right.
But that's not likely.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. iOS 9, you said originally it's going to be like a bug fix update, primarily no new features. Is that still a thing?
I believe so. I mean, I think there's going to be a few new features, but Apple has had issues with making things stable. So I think they're really focusing on like few good features, but it's really, really stable.
Yeah.
Which
faster.
people are going to be mad about. But it's a no win-win. I mean, when Apple doesn't put a lot of features in something, it's like, oh, Apple's not on top anymore. They're going under. They're out of ideas. Well, we're not going to complain about it working because we don't notice that. But when we add 400 new features and new emojis, but the performance is bad, they're going to be like, oh, this is bad. I'm switching to Android. It's like, no. They just added a bunch of new features. They can't do it all, folks.
Right.
I mean, they could hire more software engineers since they're like an $8 billion company, but
I think the best thing to do is probably to make it more, stable. But also, like, I can't think of anything right now. But maybe make another thing that should be more accessible. How about, one thing that makes me mad? You can turn Bluetooth on and off with a toggle.
Mm-hmm.
But my Bluetooth headset doesn't automatically connect to my phone.
Really?
And I use that for headphones, guys. I don't actually walk around with a Bluetooth headset and talk to people. But it doesn't automatically connect.
Really?
Yeah, and it makes me mad.
That is annoying. I tell you, more than anything, it's the small things that are like more upsetting than anything else.
Yeah, and they're less noticeable because you forget about them, and then they don't fix them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to write stuff like that down or keep a note of those things. Like, imagine if every little problem was like categorized, like that would be the best OS ever. It's like, I've always thought, like, recently I was using like a Mac today, or I was using. It doesn't matter if you're using Windows either or something. It's like what if there was a way? I was using Windows. I was transferring files off of a Sony camera, and I don't even want to get into it. They're like a weird format and everything, and I couldn't do it on a Mac. I had to, but we were going to edit on the Mac, so I had to bring it over to Windows. And I was like, moving all this stuff around, and there was all this junk all over the place. It's like, what if there was an easy way to transfer these that took no load time? So that cuts out iPhoto, if you're wondering. The load time thing is a problem. I don't like iPhoto. I never have. It's slow, and I don't know where they put the stuff and everything, and it confuses me.
Yeah.
And so, same thing on Windows. Like, it just needs to be an easy way to get this where I want it to go. Like, stuff like that on the phone. When you're sharing stuff, like, here's another thing. When you're sharing things, like, I want to put this in Google Drive. Why isn't this toggle here for me to put this in Google Drive? Stuff like that.
Yeah, no, exactly. Once again, the small things that are just frustrating.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what I want in iOS 9.
Yeah, long story short, this is what we want to see.
Yeah.
There is actually something cool that I do want to tell you guys about, though. We're sponsored by... No, I wish we would get a sponsor. That'd be really cool.
We're sponsored by Boeing. No, I'm just kidding.
That would be so cool, though. Not that they probably care about iOS, like iOS 8.4 Beta 1, which is what we're going to talk about next.
Oh.
If you guys didn't hear or see or observe, I guess would be a word, iOS 8.4 Beta 1 was released at 5 o'clock in my time zone. What are you doing, Apple? You release things at 12 o'clock sharp so that I have plenty of time to mentally prepare myself for changelog and everything. They're just like 8.4 Beta 1, mic drop. But I have the Apple Watch.
On my wrist. Let me pull up my sleeve.
Oh my god, I love Tim Cook. He's a great guy.
Yep. But yeah, I love the new music app.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
It's beautiful.
I saw your video. I'm like, I can't wait to use this.
I'm gonna be honest. It's really, really buggy right now. Like like an iOS app crashed on me. It was the music app that crashed. Like, wow. I never have crashes on iOS. Like, and it's 8.4. Now, of course, it's a beta. That's expected.
Wait, Sam, did you Did you close it? Actually kill it. It's dead now. He killed it. The app's never coming back.
It's dead now.
Sam in the recent video had said that he closed it, actually killed it. And I was like, what? It just sounded weird. The app's dead forever.
Oh, I should have been like, all right, guys, I closed it now. I killed it. It's dead.
It's dead, deleted. That's how you delete Apple apps. Thanks, mic drop. Thanks for watching.
And
Bye.
if we go ahead and open it up now, we'll take a look. But it is pretty cool. If you guys want to see some screenshots, a video on it, head over once again to the description. Also, another change in this update is some tweaks to audiobooks. So you know how they were always in the music app before? Well, they've now actually moved to the...
I did not know that.
Yeah, they've actually moved to the iBooks app, which makes...
That makes more sense, yeah.
100%
I like that.
sense. So
yeah.
If you listen to audiobooks, then you'll be happy that they'll be in the book section, which makes complete sense.
Yeah.
It's not music.
Right.
That'd be like having podcasts. I think podcasts were in the music app at one time, actually.
Really?
What if they...
Yeah. I don't know. It makes sense for sure to move them over there.
Mm-hmm.
And I like having podcasts in a separate app too. So.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure. Faux show. That's 8.4 beta 1.
Yeah.
Apple Watch pre-orders
So
were a near
you're
disaster.
upset at this one.
And
yeah. I mean, I expected this.
sorry, I'm typing something. We'll be able to have time to talk about the thing you want to talk about.
Okay.
So anyway, back to Apple Watch pre-orders. That was a really bad transition. I'm just like 8.4 beta 1. Apple Watch pre-orders are... So as far as the site functioning, it wasn't bad. It wasn't
good.
Great, though. It wasn't the thing with the iPhone 6 pre-orders where it's like, 2 hours later it's up. Or I think it was 40 minutes late.
Oh, gosh. That would be really stressful.
Yes. So this time, it does bother me when they say 12:01 a.m. And then, it didn't go online in my time zone until 2:03 a.m., which would be 12:03 a.m. in a different time zone or in Apple's time zone. So it was kind of frustrating. If you say 12:01, it needs to be online at 12:01. You're paying somebody to hit that button.
Yeah, they need to sync that across time zones. Server stuff like that with game launches and this stuff, they need to overcompensate. Get all your servers in order.
Uh-huh.
Expect the
Worst.
absolute worst.
For sure. So, and I don't know what I was thinking. It's one of those things where you wish you could rewind time. So I was kind of in a lackadaisical, just woke up at 2 a.m. to pre-order an extension to my iPhone mode.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was just like, it's the Apple Watch. Nobody cares about it yet, except for the 7 people I follow on Twitter that are in the tech community. So I'll be good, right? So, good old Mike Bill, he's my buddy. We've done giveaways before and stuff, and he might even be watching right now, but he's a super nice guy. You should definitely follow him on Twitter if you haven't already. And he told me to pre-order through the app, and I was like, oh, no, I'll just do the website because that's easier. Or he had suggested, why aren't you using the app? And I'm like, well, I'm just going to do the site because I'm already on my computer.
Oh, okay.
So, is what I did is, of course, being stubborn Sam here, I went on the computer, and the website was having issues. So by the time I actually pre-ordered, instead of doing it very quickly and I had to enter a credit card number, instead of just using Apple Pay and doing it as quick as possible, I wasted about 7 or 8 minutes having issues with the website, entering the credit card number. So I eventually had to do it on my iPhone, and that was 8 minutes after pre-orders live. Well, now I'm not getting my watch I'm not getting it until May 11th to 27th.
That sucks that little thing caused that much trouble.
Because other people that got theirs in right away say April 24th to May 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Or May 9th. And I'm just I'm disappointed. Really? 8 minutes or 10, let's be generous. 10 minutes later and I don't get it till May? That just seems a little ridiculous.
It's Apple. I hate how they do this thing where it's we only have this much. And I understand it is the first launch of the product and initial reactions weren't that impressive, but come on. They're just, people are gonna get it. mean,
yeah, I mean,
you're Apple.
Shout out to Travis Wade in the comments. I read, and he also read, I'm sure, that the estimations are like it sold between 1 and 2+ million, like pre-orders, which is insane.
Wait, what was it?
Between 1 and 2.3 or something million Apple Watches were pre-ordered. Those are the estimates.
I didn't expect that.
Neither did I. I thought it would be like a million after like a few months.
For sure. Yeah, that's a crazy amount.
Mm-hmm. And of course,
I'm super impressed. I thought it was way lower than that.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, the demand was insane. I mean, it really was, which is just, it's crazy. I had no idea it would even remotely be that popular.
Mm-hmm.
Also, something interesting to note that I thought was very odd was that you cannot actually go into a store and buy the watch on Apple on April 24th.
That's the weirdest thing about this whole thing.
So Apple claims that they want to improve the ordering experience.
What about the whole trailer where they're like, yeah, when they open up the doors and stuff, and I know that's for new Apple stores, but still, like when they launch like a phone, they record the trailers, like, why wouldn't you want something like that for your new line? Like, that's kind of weird.
Well, it's like they don't want people to line up because I guess they know that's not ideal. But I think you should be able to go into a store and get a product on launch quote day.
Will you be able to at some point later?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure you will be able to. I really hope so. That'd be insane.
I'm just saying, it's just so absurd that it's not on launch day that I was just wondering.
I mean, I was just thinking, like, what if I wasn't a crazy person? What if I didn't wake up at 2 a.m?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I told kids at school, I'm like, oh yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I was up at 2 this morning. They're like, oh, why? I was like, well, I was pre-ordering the Apple Watch. And they were like, you got up at 2 a.m. to pre-order a watch? One kid was like, oh, you're so stupid. I'm like, shut up. Just, when you see this watch, you're just going to be jealous.
Who was it? It's his first name.
BD.
Oh.
Yeah.
Was Josh one of those?
No, Josh was not one of those.
Oh, I could see.
Oh, no, he would say that for sure, though. He would say that for sure. People don't appreciate it yet, but they'll see.
They'll see.
I'm not crazy. They'll see. I'm not waking up at 2 a.m. for no reason. I really hope that people do see it. And the experience of using it was fantastic. I mean, I've never been more excited for an Apple product. And I feel like I say this every time, but the hype is real. I want this thing on my wrist. I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, statements still stay clear. I love the UI. It's great. I'm still not going to get one. Maybe I'd say I'm gonna predict that I'm gonna cave in on 3rd gen. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see you getting that. Mm-hmm. I don't know how often they're gonna release them. If it's gonna be every year, I hope not. Sorry, Apple Watch Edition guys.
We'll see. Yeah.
So
waiting for Apple Watch Edition review.
Gosh, I'm curious if any tech reviewer by themselves is gonna get it. I highly doubt it.
Mm-hmm. Lou from Unboxing.
Oh, no. Yeah, he'll get it because he has all
he'll get it.
iPhone bending monies.
And he also just doesn't buy anything anymore. He waits for people to send him stuff and then doesn't review it all the time.
Yeah.
You see just stuff laying around in the studio that they sent him, but you didn't review.
And this is a side note. I'm just scared that Lou from Unbox Therapy, he's the guy who did the iPhone 6 Plus bending video that has 55 million views now, which is insane.
He's gonna throw it in a volcano and see if it melts.
I'm just scared that he's gonna
Jenna Marbles thing. I don't usually watch her, but I did see that video. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's a funny quote from her about people complaining about the phone bending. Anyway, I'm just scared that Lou's gonna start reviewing things that aren't good, but he's getting things sent to him.
Right.
I'm not exactly sure about the quality of the latest projector he showed off in his gaming setup.
That was interesting. I was like, that doesn't look premium. I was like, okay, no. I'm interested, but are you going to explain why I need this? All right, has composite ports on the back. Okay. interesting.
And I want to be honest, lose a 4K guy, that thing was 1080p.
Yeah.
Which is an issue.
So it's like, all right, that was weird. Like, I expected to see, like, that title of the video made me think that I was about to see, like, the best projector ever made. Also, I thought it was a video about a TV before I clicked on it.
So did I. It looked like it.
Yeah, it looked like a TV. Like, he made it look like a TV. It kind of made me mad.
Uh-huh. All right, well, I have to go in a second, so do you want to talk about your last thing?
Star Wars Celebration's going on. Anybody interested in that? The stream's going on right now, so
I watched a few.
Some of the cool stuff. They had a cosplay competition, which was really cool. They had Jango Fett there. That's why I was watching. It looked like him, so that's pretty great. But the reason I bring it up is the new Star Wars trailer came out, and I plan to start this week on turning that trailer into Lego. I doubt I'll be the first one out with it, but hopefully I can be like the third one out with it or something like that. So we'll see.
Dude, the new Star Wars trailer was so
it
good.
It was so much better than the first one. I don't know why. I think my favorite part, even though like I don't know, like I'm not like I like Harrison Ford a lot, but like when he came in at the end and he's like, Chewie, we're home. Like I'm like, oh yeah, and
yeah.
I don't know why, but man, that was awesome.
He's so old now, Harrison Ford.
He's so old, but it's so cool how he's actually old. Like there was no artificial aging.
That's true.
He is actually old for the movie. Like I find that funny for some reason. But anyway,
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the new Star Wars. I'm sure we'll talk about the movie after we see it.
I'm doing a podcast on it for sure.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Alrighty, well, I think that about wraps up this show.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. If you please did enjoy this video, it's like...
if you guys did enjoy watching, though, and you feel like being a cool person or an extra nice guy, and you or you just really enjoy listening to the show, you don't have to be either of those two, but you guys are all awesome for listening anyway, so you should leave a review. If you go in the iTunes store, search for PhonePod, or just, I guess that's the only way to do it is to search on the iTunes store for it, and leave us a review, or even just go on there and leave us a rating, 1 to 5 stars.
Yeah, that would be, that's like literally all we want.
We appreciate any review. We've got 2 total.
Yeah.
1 is from someone that we know, so we've got 1. We're trying here, folks, though, so cut us some slack.
Yeah.
We still don't have enough ratings to display an average yet. So if you guys just want to go over,
if you listen to podcasts on the podcast app, it's up to you.
If you want to rate it 1 star, that's okay. I would like a reason for why you rate it 1 star. Maybe you just hate our voices, and that's understandable.
Hate us, yeah, that's okay.
If you hate our guts, that's understandable. But we would really, really appreciate that if you did.
Yeah.
Jake, I had a fun time. We talked about a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Good, solid discussion good. On Apple TV.
Yeah, I talked a little bit long about stuff, but
it's our podcast. It's our podcast. We can talk long if we want to. You know what song that is? It's My Birthday. I Can Cry If I Want to.
I think I've heard. I heard part of that before, maybe.
It was one of those kids songs. It was on a CD.
Right.
Alrighty, man. Well, I had a pleasure. I had a great time talking to you, as always.
You too, Sam.
All right, man. Until next time, I'll see you later.
See you, Sam.